Welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. Today, I want to talk about going international and how crypto and the U.S. aren't necessarily a great mix. But before I get to that story and share my screen and go over that and give my opinions, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out the channel, helps out the algorithm, helps defeat the algorithm if they're blocking me. Hit the notification bell in the corner. That always helps too. Check out the ticker down below, which got more information about when videos come out for this channel, other channels I'm associated with, other products I'm associated with, and lots more to come. This video, this video is coming out Tuesday. So that means there's an AMA special tonight that will be available to $20 and up members. It will be the last one available for $20 and up members starting next in 2 weeks. It'll only be for the exclusive ones after that. And we're getting rid of the $20 level. Sorry, but there weren't that many people at it anyway. And hopefully they will advance to the next level up. So in any event, Patrick and I are getting very limited time anymore. We're limiting our AMAs, limiting them to the people that really want to hear them. And we're working on the other projects that people want us to work on. So speaking of other projects and speaking of the things that I'm working on, I've been a proponent of watching over the international flavor of crypto for a long time. Here's a story I wanted to share, and then I'll dig into it further. This is from a guy, the name you should probably recognize if you've been around crypto for a little while. That's, I don't know why that screen is on the bottom there. Let's get rid of that. Okay, this is a story from Cointelegraph, and it is the crypto industry has already started moving outside the U.S., says Ripple CEO. That's Brad Garlinghouse. Brad Garlinghouse, he's been involved in the project for years. He's one of the top three there. Brad, there's Jared. I'm going to blow all the other names, but you get these are the big names with XRP. Jared wrote the code behind XRP, and then we moved on to write the code behind XLM or Stellar Lumens. But Brad Garlinghouse has been out there for a while. He works a lot with central banks, so be careful with that. Take for that whatever you like, but he's worked with a lot of people about greasing the skids, working with central banks, and XRP being the rails between like the new SWIFT system using cryptocurrency. That's been pretty much the argument for XRP for years. So, according to Brad, the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple is the regulator playing offense and attacking the industry as a whole. Going through here, similar comments. It's an interview that came from in a Bloomberg interview. Brad said that the crypto industry has already started moving outside of the U.S. Well, he could have said that 4 years ago, maybe even more. Given the U.S.'s crypto regulation process is behind other countries like Australia, United Kingdom, Japan, Singapore, and Switzerland. That's fairly accurate, but also that some of those countries are also central banked as well. Garlinghouse commended these countries for taking the time and thoughtfulness to create clear rules of the road, adding that the approach taken by the U.S. is not a healthy way to regulate an industry. Garlinghouse recalled when he first got into the tech industry in the late 90s. There were proposals to ban the internet due to illicit activity, but the government refuted the idea and decided to create a framework. He emphasized that the benefits this early adoption brought to a geopolitical basis to having the Amazons and Googles based in the U.S., suggesting that the same opportunity is currently on the table with creating a framework for crypto. He believes that the framework process should begin with outlining clear protections for consumers. He added that the consumers are suffering from the lag as they lack the same protection that regulatory frameworks can provide. Garlinghouse believes that a decision should come this year in the SEC's case against Ripple. Okay, so that's a different issue entirely. Let's drop out of that and talk for a moment. So first off, yes, I do agree that the U.S. playing field is not representative of the globe as a whole. But it's not for the rules, not for the reasons and rules that Brad is talking about. I think he's kind of towing the company line here. The company line being mostly about central banks and them saying that, hey, let's get regulations so that central banks can get their fingers and paws on crypto and get in there before everybody else. And then they'll facilitate the mass adoption. That's what they want to do. And they believe that the path there is the CBDC, the central bank digital currency, the banks getting involved. That helps out XRP. That helps out the governments. That helps them stay in control and the power by divvying out the currency for the Americans. Now, the international stage already been adopted, crypto all over the planet. El Salvador leading the charge there with Bitcoin. Central African Republic, Bitcoin. 44 other countries looking at El Salvador, learning about Bitcoin. Other countries all over the planet adopting Bitcoin. Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. We've got Russia and China and the BRICS nations all getting involved in cryptocurrency. The ship has sailed. Okay, I'm sorry, but the central bank, it's a war now between the countries that are centrally banked and those that aren't. And the centrally banked countries, the countries with central banks, the central banks are obviously stand to benefit if they remain in power. They remain in power by being allowed to be the ones that dole out the currency in those countries. And those who dole out the currencies are going to want to use XRP and Ripple to grease the skids in the ISO 2022 or 20022. I really hate that number. I don't know how to pronounce it. I want to say 20,022. Sometimes say 222, whatever. It's the new ISO standard that they have out there for a number of cryptocurrencies that basically are banking on the banks sticking around. But we already have the rest of the world that is unbanked. A lot of the world is unbanked. About a third of the planet is unbanked. And the cryptocurrency solves that problem. Back to El Salvador. In El Salvador, the average family makes about $100 a month. That's it. It costs $50 a month to have a bank account. So do you really think that an average family is going to have a bank account? No. So it's a cash society. So because it's a cash society, retailers don't have credit card swipers. They have minimal banking as well. So the banking industry is really suppressed in El Salvador. To combat this, peer-to-peer transactions are very, very prevalent, and to replace the cash and the remittances that come from other countries, that's where, like say, someone working in the United States would send money back to their family in El Salvador using Western Union or Walmart or whoever, send a money order or a check or something back to the family. It could take weeks to get there, fees. But if I send it using cryptocurrency, it could be there in minutes for pennies, and they get to use it right away. So Bitcoin Beach became a thing. Bitcoin became prevalent in El Salvador for the last year plus. They're using peer-to-peer transactions with their smartphones and Bitcoin, and that's the benefit. The benefit is banking the unbanked. That is one of the benefits. Brad Garlinghouse, his main use case for XRP, whether you like it or not, it really appears to be to expedite transactions between banks, in particular central banks, because they have most of the currency in the world right now. Now, if that system implodes, XRP's business case implodes. If that system prevails or persists, I'll say, if it persists for a while, XRP could stand to benefit when the launching of CBDCs and hopefully being involved in that process. So I get what Brad is saying. I get his perspective, but understand that follow the money, right? It's always follow the money. Who stands to benefit if, how does XRP benefit by saying that by regulation? Regulation keeps the banks in charge, keeps them being the ones in control of doling out the currency and the new digital currency. And both those help XRP to modernize the banking system, the central banks, to put digital rails between them. So while I get the message that he's saying, and I do agree that the U.S. is becoming a problem, but the U.S. has been a problem for years because they're more focused on keeping the dollar afloat and staying ahead in that game versus the new game in town, which is crypto, which is wild, wild west. There's no regulation, and there's a major threat to fiat currencies like the U.S. dollar. So lots said today. I'm really looking forward to seeing what your thoughts are on this one. Am I right about the way I'm reading Brad Garlinghouse? Am I right about the use case for XRP? Do you have countering points? Is the U.S. the top place for crypto? Is it one of the other countries mentioned in the article, like Australia, New Zealand, or Switzerland? I don't know. I'd love to read your thoughts. So I'll read all the comments. Leave a comment down below. Hashtag XRP for this one. So with all that said, I'm going to close the door on the bureau, say follow leader one more time. Hope to see you on the AMA, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.